Hey, welcome back to another Haven't Read It video. We got 4 stories today from Entitled People, 4 harrowing stories. Our first story of the day. The pharmacists at my work are so entitled, and I'm so sick of it. I work in a little coffee kiosk in a grocery store right across the pharmacy, and we have quite a bit of beef. To note, this post is mainly just for entertainment / being able to bitch to neutral parties about how they don't seem to realize that we don't exist as a novelty for them. Most of this is recurring issues we have brought up to them, but they don't listen. So here's a short list of the shit these ladies pull consistently. Usually while we're extremely busy. At least 2 have come up asking us to mess up a drink or 2, aka make them something for free. We used to bring them drinks we actually messed up on so we didn't have to throw them out. We no longer do that for them. They like to forget their wallet when ordering drinks. Sometimes they'll give us a fraction of the amount their drinks actually cost. They'll finish drinks and come up asking for free refills. We don't offer free refills. We've told them that consistently. They keep doing it. They keep trying to place orders outside of our hours, like trying to order at 8:05 when we close at 8. We sometimes make free samples for customers to try. One day we got an upset phone call from the pharmacy complaining that they didn't get to try any samples. They demanded we make them all large-sized drinks as emotional compensation. We have to place our sample trays strategically out of eyesight of them, or they will take all our samples before the customers can try any. They used to call us on our phone to place orders. They stopped after we stopped picking up when we saw it was them. I keep getting phone calls from new employees because they'll come up for a drink but won't tell them what their order actually is. They'll just say, "Oh, OP knows how I like it. Just call them. They don't mind." I very much do mind. I've told them I do mind. They keep doing it. They keep trying to skip the line. Just walk past the entire line to lean against our glass and yell their orders at us. I've told the new hires to just ignore them when they do, because it freaks them out. It feels like the workers here are more entitled than the customers. I didn't even think that was possible. God, I need a new job. Top comment. There's really only one solution. It's drastic, but they deserve it. Decaf. Every time. OP responds, absolutely. Next top comment says, have kiosk manager talk to the pharmacy manager. If that doesn't work, have kiosk manager talk to the store manager. If that doesn't work, let it be known that you will no longer be serving coffee to store workers and let everyone know why. Someone replies, this, if store GM isn't going to help, this is the best way to go. Someone else replies, honestly, they don't need lattes. They need to be prescribed a daily dose of humility. Stat. Side effects may include waiting in line like everyone else. Next top comment says, you have the right to refuse service. Exploit that. OP responds, they straight up hate me because I absolutely do. They won't get anything out of me unless they behave. I'm actually pretty proud about how timid they are to me personally. Last top comment says, talk to the grocery store manager. Tell them that their behavior is decreasing your sales and efficiency and scaring new employees. This hurts the bottom line of the grocery store and the manager will take it seriously. They don't. OP responds, I have. Unfortunately, management isn't very good at managing. It's pretty common for stores these days. Too true. Next story. Customer from catering lied about getting food poisoning. So this is from a few years ago, but I still think about it often. I'm sorry it isn't recent. I saw someone post something that reminded me. I used to manage a food truck and catering company, and in the summer, there were so many caterings. Great for business, but it was a lot. The owner's friend had another friend getting married and highly recommended us. His friend would always convince us to give her major discounts for events, and one time even got us to cater an event, and then, when it came time for her to pay the invoice, she said, well, isn't this charity? Which it wasn't. We had agreed on a price months prior. Anyways, she convinced her friend that we'd also give a discount to her for sure, which wasn't something we did or wanted to do. However, she booked with us very last minute, and we already had an event booked on her wedding day. Plus, we hadn't heard she wanted us to cater up until she called to book. She got very rude and told us that her friend was the owner's friend. Sorry if this is confusing saying friend so many times, and that she was told that we would definitely cater. So I took it upon myself to offer a drop-off catering, and I'd deliver it myself, and then meet up with the rest of the staff for the other catering afterwards. She wasn't super happy about a drop-off catering, but agreed to it. She proceeded to tell us that she wanted our deluxe taco catering plan, but with additional items and toppings. She wanted it to include, without an additional fee, multiple flavors of agua fresca, margarita Italian ice, more taco toppings, and more protein options. Not just vegetarian, but different types and flavors of meat. We said we would accommodate her request because even though it annoyed us, she was friends with the owner's friend. Then she said, oh, and I was told I would get a discount. What will the total be? I was angry, but the owner was very involved in daily service and events, so he agreed to a discount and offered her the price of our basic taco catering plan, which was significantly lower than the deluxe, especially with all the add-ons she wanted. But it wasn't cheap enough for her. The basic taco plan that was offered was $12 a person, which came with 3 meat options, multiple toppings, and a side, which for a catering, in addition to all she wanted extra, is an amazing deal. But it wasn't low enough of a discount. We agreed on $9 a person, which she still fought before agreeing. Fast forward to the catering. My grandpa passed away day of, so I already wasn't in the best mood, but had to put my customer service face on and make sure the bride, groom, and guests enjoyed the catering. Drove over an hour away to drop it off, and after setting it up, the bride goes, where's the bartender? I was very confused and asked what she meant. We planned a margarita bar, is how she responded. I told her that in her invoice, an email, and a phone interaction, we agreed on adding margarita Italian ice, which she said she wanted and found from our website. She was livid. I guess she told everyone there was going to be a margarita bar. I told her it was complimentary because her friend was friends with the owner. On top of everything else, she added that we'd usually charge for, but she was just mad. I made sure everything was okay and set up and arranged a time to pick up the containers and steam tables. A week later, we got a 1-star review from the bride online. She said we lied about what we were going to bring to her wedding, and a lot of guests, including her and her husband, got food poisoning from our food. I panicked. I called her to discuss it. She didn't say much other than she expected a refund. Mind you, everything was cooked and prepared not only day of, but right before the wedding, and stored, heated, and cooked properly. We ended up reaching out to the friend of the owner who had referred the bride to us, and she said it was a lie to get a refund because we had done charity work for her before. Why not her friend? The owner, to my surprise, went off on his friend because the charity we had done before was because he felt pressured into it when we asked for the invoice and we charged for our food. She said everything was great, but the bride just couldn't afford to not get that money back, even after the major discounts we gave her. Most of our events, other than this friend of the owner, we always required the invoice before the event, at least a few days before. So we already had the money from the wedding, even though it didn't cover how much we provided, and did not refund. After that, he told his friend that from that point forward, she had to abide by our normal requirements, paying an invoice before the event. She never contacted us to cater again. Top comment says, glad your boss backed you up. Some customers think friend of a friend equals free catering. OP responds, me too. It was annoying how he allowed so much, but it was his business, and I had to go along with the fact that he agreed to do so much. I was shocked when he stood up to them, especially his friend, even after what had happened, because he never had before, and I didn't think he ever would. Second comment says, it seems frustrating, but a part of the fault lies with the owner for accommodating such people in the first place. Next comment says, wow, that sounds exhausting. You handled an impossible situation professionally and honestly. It sounds like she was just trying to take advantage of you. OP responds, thank you. And she definitely was. Lying about food poisoning? Really? I felt so terrible when I first saw the review she left. And it made me so angry she'd lie about that because she wanted charity. You wouldn't have given her it all for free, but instead of mentioning that, she lied about something awful. Next comment says, the fact she planned a margarita bar in her head and blamed you is wild. OP says, right? I was so confused. Last comment says, still love that sign I saw hanging from the taps in an Irish pub. In God we trust, all others pay cash. Add to that up front, and you got my #1 business rule. Next story of the day. Neighbor yelled at me for having groceries delivered to her driveway. I live in a townhouse and share a driveway with my neighbor. We each have our side clearly marked. I sometimes order groceries online, and the delivery driver usually parks in the middle for just a few minutes while unloading. Last week, my neighbor stormed out while the driver was handing me my bags and started yelling that I was blocking her property and using her driveway without permission. I pointed out it was our shared driveway. The truck was there for maybe 5 minutes, and her car wasn't even parked there at the time. She yelled that she doesn't allow delivery drivers on her half, and that if she sees it again, she'll call the police for trespassing. The driver just looked at me like, is she serious? I apologized to him for the scene. Needless to say, I'm bracing myself for more drama the next time I order groceries. Top comment says, nah, let her call the cops. Then watch them give her a fine and or their peace of mind. Second comment says, my neighbor accidentally had their mattress delivered to my home when they first moved in because they got confused. And I just made sure that they got their mattress. I just don't understand why your neighbor can't be neighborly. Someone replies, because she wants to only be found after the smell gets so bad, the neighbors have to call the cops. How hard is this for people to understand? If you are a raging douche to people, they won't be there for you if needed. What a concept. Yet Americans are lonely. Wonder why. Maybe you can't play nice with others, then are the victim. Last comment says, I would get a delivery service to bring her exactly one rose with a card that says, call the police. Last story of the day. Woman wanted to use our barrow while we were using it. I'm moving with my girlfriend, moving slowly as we don't have money for a moving company and we live close. I'm moving to her apartment. Her parents let us use their barrow, a simple one, a plank with 4 wheels and a handlebar. The other day, when getting out of my girlfriend's building with the barrow to make another trip moving things, a neighbor was waiting at the door. When she saw us, she asked us if something that was outside was ours. When we looked, it was a dresser abandoned on the sidewalk, and she clearly liked it and wanted it. We told her no, it wasn't ours. But when she saw the barrow we were using, it even had a box on it, it wasn't empty, she said, I could use that barrow, let me use it. I looked at her confused and told her no, we were using it right now. The woman stayed there, surprised that we didn't stop to help her. We later laughed with my girlfriend's parents about how they were close to losing their barrow if we said yes to her using it. The entitlement of some people, astounding. Top comment says, LOL, I had my neighbor ask me to use my pressure washer as I was using it. It was so weird. I just kind of looked at it and then went back to blasting the driveway. He claimed he only thought to ask because he heard me using it. He is kind of ditzy, LOL. Someone says, sounds just like a child, only wants something because they see you have it. This comment says, sounds like dresser is owned by someone and she's trying to nick it before they reclaim it. OP responds, it's possible, although I assumed it was abandoned since people sometimes leave things there, and 10 minutes later she was still moving it from there. So I don't think the previous owners wanted it back if they left it there for more than 10 minutes unattended. Last comment says, I have never referred it to just as barrow before. Where I'm from, in any books, TV, etc., it's called a wheelbarrow. Is it a regional thing? Not trying to criticize, just truly curious and interested in cultural differences. OP responds, I'm afraid English is not my first language, so when I looked how to say it in English, it showed me that. For me, wheelbarrow is the ones used in construction, with a big wheel in the front and 2 handles on the back. This one is simpler, a plank and 4 wheels, and a handlebar attached to the plank. So I figured it would be correct. In Spanish, it would be called carretilla or carreta, mostly used in personal environments for moving and such, I think. Oh, I think OP means a cart, not a barrow or wheelbarrow. Maybe like one of the red wagons from back in childhood. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful rest of the day and see you guys in the next one.